Hello there, Internet. I am your host, Jay. Welcome back to Let's Play 3D Duck Game Heroes of Duff. I deadass don't know. Now, if I can't tell, I am not playing as myself. I'm playing as the White Glint. So, if you can't tell, we actually had some references to other FromSoft games. And this is the White Glint, which is a central character in the Armored Core series at the time. For those that don't know what Armored Core is, what's wrong? First of all, what's wrong with you? Second, it's a series of mech shooters, and was for a time FromSoft's go-to franchise. Prior to Dark Souls, FromSoft wasn't really a household name. I mean, they're owned by Kadokawa. It's an anime company that's, if I'm correct, is funded by the Yakuza. Now, each game series, each sequel series actually starts like a new timeline, and are usually all disconnected. You don't have to play them all in order, thankfully. Each one for that certain era would often be its own game, would be its own timeline. Like Armored Core 2, the only ones that are sequels are Armored Core 2, and spoilers, Armored Core 1 and 2. And Armored Core and Armored Core 4 and 5, because 5 reveals there's like a big plot twist at the end of Verdict Day, which was the last game series prior to 2023's awesome Armored Core 4 answer. Like, seriously. Armored Core 6 is awesome. Like, I'm sure you guys might remember this, like, how hyped I was when I saw Armored Core 6. Not only announced, but legit. Yeah, and just like a lot of FromSoft titles, they can be very, very ballsy hard. And I kind of do agree with Darkside Phil. Okay, Darkside Phil, yeah, I might be wondering how to fit. Look, okay. I'm not playing because they wanted me to get good. It's just the first fight. The reason why I'm not a huge fan of the first fight is you don't get to customize your mech yet. That's kind of my complaint. You don't get to customize your mech yet. You're just stuck with a basic AC unit, and you just... Well, the reason is because I'm the Great King of Dotty. Let's party! Yes. Okay, that's another reference. Okay, you don't know what that's a reference to? Probably the most American game ever made by the Japanese. It's called Armored Core. It's called... Middle of Chaos. It's kind of like Armored Core, and it's a mech shooter, but to put it bluntly, it's Die Hard on it's Die Hard but mecha, and I love it. It's one of the funniest. It's like the most American game out there, made by the Japanese. Like. Yes, I've always been kind of curious about Japan. How oftentimes we're stereotyped, like, in a positive light. Yeah, probably just too controversial of a topic. Yeah, I still kind of remember how... Okay, I'm sure you guys all know my friend 14th Puppet, how I taught her about... Okay, so I was watching the guys who made... I was watching the real-time fandom of Life is Strange, and I had this joke headcanon. Okay, mostly that... Chloe's adopted dad, whose name I deadass don't remember. David, I think was his name. Yeah, oh yeah, right. David, how I joked he had the Second Amendment tattooed on his chest. I joked he had and then I'm like, what? But Puppet was like, I don't know what the Second Amendment is. So I said, Second Amendment's why we have guns. AKA why America's America. America moment. Yeah, what the... Oh yeah, I'm sure you guys all know that I actually, you might actually remember, so the Let's Party line, that's actually like a reference like one of the first scenes in Middle of Chaos, when your character just, when the main character, reminder, is the president, goes out from the White House to enter a giant mech-up, like your average president, and says, "Let's party!" And, oh yeah, did I mention the entire game is, despite only releasing in Japan for a while, was entirely in English on a console that only 5 people in Japan owned? Yeah, it was meant for Xbox, but I guess due to political tensions in the US at the time, It wasn't really like the best time. To release an over-the-top, goofy action game. Yeah, my leg's been bothering me all day. Yeah, I have not played Armored Core 4 Answer, but it's on my to-find list. The only thing I know is that there's for one, people like to call it the best one. Oh, I'm scary. Oh, I'm scary. Oh, I can't see. Outright scary. All is fantasy. I don't say how low, but also there is like one character I'm like, oh, what the fuck did you? Why the fuck did you name him this way? For kind of ballsy for FromSoft do is that one of the characters in Armored Core 6, Armored Core Verdict Day, is named Fat Man. I'm like, that's kind of ballsy to do that because to this day, Japan, Hiroshima is still a very tragic event that happened in Japanese history. One of the worst things ever happened to Japan in history. Like, I remember watching... You guys all know, History of Japan, I guess. The two Japanese YouTubers I saw who watched it, they were a little uncomfortable seeing that. Everything else was still... You gotta remember, everything else was just this very witty, goofy parody-like. And what Bill Wirt did this. Make jingles and stuff. Time to conquer all of India. Most of India. And the dinosaurs are gone. No. Yeah, I would like to have found a way to pay you to distribute. Also, I spent some time setting up my Wi-Fi for my PS3. Bomb? Also, I checked the Scrappy Wiki and Ensemble Dork's Horse Wiki. Which are things that exist. Apparently one Scrappy was, well, it was Blake and Ruby. Blake's, not Blake from Ruby herself, Blake's depiction in Death Battle. Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, apparently I found out that fight that Blake's actress, I mean, she technically didn't reprise the role. All they did was just reuse voice lines from Ruby itself. Which kind of just reinforces how the fight was kind of rigged from the start. Because of Rooster Teeth, like... And the one time I wished... Yeah, there was one time I wished a Ruby character won. It was... the fight between... of course, Ruby and that chick from Soul Eater. I mean... You guys gotta remember... That fight was something Monty wanted from the get-go. It only took a decade, but Monty's last wish was finally granted. Even if we all didn't agree with the results, it's still what Monty would have wanted. To at least win, lose, it was his fight, his request. I bet he wouldn't have minded if Ruby lost. Sorry to get philosophical there. Like, I kind of remember like watching like something where it was like Ruby, how Yang's reckless was like kind of like how when she like punched. Okay, rant. Why was everybody blaming Yang for that? Like, yeah, she was a little reckless there, but. I mean, Mercury was the one that went out even after the fight was over. But yeah, I'm sort of writing for my Kamen Rider Fights fic. I wrote the newest chapter and... a part of me kind of feels like I wrote Crow as too unlikable. So, essentially how the fic goes that Takumi runs as a Leo from the Fies. I even explained, so yeah, speaking of Kamen Rider's Fies, I actually explained, like, talking to my coworker about, like, potential killer in Dead by Daylight from Kamen Rider. And, I mean, I already brought up, like, but my idea for a killer... Oh, is this a Dragon Quest reference? But yeah, as said, Ruby, my idea is, basically is how their plan. My plan is actually bring back a somewhat lesser known RWBY villain, Dr. Meadow. If you don't know who he is, he was a villain that was exclusive to the RWBY video game, RWBY Grim Eclipse. Basically, he's meant to be a reference to the island of Dr. Moreau, and is apparently a scientist thinks that Grimm are the superior race, even though. And the idea is basically just give Grimm, like, have Grimm merge with dust, and which will give them powers to make them deadlier than they already are. And my idea is like to install more fear. Was that Takumi? Basically, is that the plan was like to show off Atlus's technology and show Takumi how Takumi's heroism and determination. Basically, show Takumi's will to fight. However, there's a basically to show off the powers of his weapon. Takumi. Basically, Takumi and Leo get non-lethal versions of mission memories. And Leo transform. This your Mezamero. Ima Haninato Meto Mikara Mezamero Ima I was Segi no Kareru Umenahi wa I was Segi no. Oh, I get the reference. If you don't know, that's a Zelda 1 reference. Apparently, there's these guards. There are these guys that would just give Link a random amount of rupees. They'll say it's a secret to everybody, but in the Japanese version, it's implied he was trying to bribe Link. Batuminahiwa, I was thinking of. Mesa Mero Ima. Yeah, how much? Yeah, I'm not even sure if I'll. But again, their big plans like basically they had a device that would reveal every Orphanok in the area to show their Orphanok form. A new beginning. I'm super lost. I mean, I could try and just do both. Well, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to make a rule about not playing Zelda games in the future, or Zelda likes. because I'm about to pass out. Skippy. Skippy. Note to self, downloading YouTube videos is always morally correct. Well, I'm gonna end the episode right here. Like, subscribe, all that spexy stuff. See ya.